our today's topic is the history, lesson number 11, ancient and the world. So in this lesson, we are going to learn about how we have a foreign relations, how we have a foreign relationship with the other countries, okay, and how it helps for the development of a trade, how we have accepted their cultures and traditions in an ancient period of time. Everything we are going to learn about it. While learning in the lesson, we have learned it that the Fahan, such kind of the bhikkhus, they came to an India only to learn Buddhism. In this end, even we have also learned that the King Ashoka sent his son and daughter to the Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. We have learned this also. And even we are learning the Harappan civilization, lesson number 3. In that lesson, we have also learned that there is a trade relationship between our Western countries and with other countries during that time. And even in lesson number 10, also we have learned that we have introduced the concept of zero or the concept of decimal system to the Western country. How we introduced them? Through trade. And even Alexander came in, invaded India, and he started to rule. Then after going back, he appointed the Babylon. Sorry, while going, he appointed the satrap. Okay, while appointing, so due to this, what happened? There is a trade relationship in between the Greek peoples and our India, and even there are various people. There are various people and even the traders that we have a great relations. We have a great relations in between with the other countries and with us also. And even we have an idea about the whether it is a Portuguese, whether it is a British, they came to an India only and only to do the business. And even the China, the various people, they invaded India by the Chinese route. We have also learned about it. In the same way, our India also have a great relationship with the other countries, whether it is in case of the culture, trade, and various things. Okay, so here students, about the topic is the India and the countries of the West. Countries of the West means the countries which is in the west direction of our India, which is in the west direction. The people of Harappan civilization that we have learned in a lesson number 3. In a lesson number 3, we have learned that the Harappan civilization, they have developed a trade relationship with the countries in the west direction. Even India they have not only they exchange goods, even they have exchanged their trades, culture, and even economy. It means that India has had economic and cultural exchanges with the outside world. It means with the outside world, we have exchange. We have exchange our money, concept, and the culture. So that's why we can see the various kinds of the temples or the structure of a temple. We can see in a various countries also. Okay, and even you have aware about the Bodhidharma, that he was a person. Actually, he was person that he was born in India, but he wanted to introduce our culture to the China. So that's why we can see a various temple of a Bodhidharma in a China also. Okay, so in this way we have a exchange our culture. Then even we have Buddhism, that we have spread our Buddhism. Afghanistan, Afghanistan to various countries. We have spreaded that. And even India, they have increased. Because of this, we have increased a contact with the Western countries. Because in a Western countries, it is very, because from the Harappan civilization, when it is invented in in our India, or on the bank of the river, from that day we have, from that era, we have a great trade relationship with the other countries. So it means India started to increase that. And even the Greek historians on that period, they are very curious about India, because not only the Greek historian, even all the foreigners, they are very curious about our India. So because the one thought as that from India, there is a lots of wealth in our temples, and even we have a reach with a lots of when we have a reach with a lots of wealth and the minerals, so that's all the peoples get attracting towards India. And even the routes which were used by the Alexander, that Alexander came to an India, he invaded India. Whatever the route is followed by the Alexander, same route is followed for the purpose of the trade. Same route is followed for the purpose of the trade. So because if the same route is followed for the purpose of the trade, then the Greek art of sculpture is a form of art get emerged in the Indian art. In Indian art, it gets emerged. For example, it is an example of the medieval period of history. See, we can see the various, the Taj Mahal we can see, and the Red Fort we can see. Whatever the culture, because basically it is an Arabic culture. It is an Arabic culture. Now we have a trade relationship with the Arab countries, so that the whatever the art in the Arab, it gets merged in the art of India, and the Indian art is also get emerged in the Arabic art. Okay, so in the same way, when there is a trade route, in between. There is a trade route in between the India and the Greek. In the same way, not only trade, even their art. Art is also get immersed in the Indian art, and in whose period? In Kushana period. In Kushana period. Then later on, this art is known as the Gandhara School of Art. This is known as the Gandhara School of Art. In the Gandhara Art School, mainly it is found in a cave. See, this is a art. See, this is an art. Here we can found such kind of art in a cave. We found in a cave. Then, and mostly we can see in this art, we can see only, they carve only the image of the Gautam Buddha in the Gandhara School of Art. Mainly they carve the image of the Gautam Buddha. They carve the image of the Gautam Buddha. Then these images were mostly found in the Gandhara region. Gandhara region, it is in the Afghanistan. Such kind of also we found in the Afghanistan. Then that's why this style is known as the Gandhara style. This style is known as the Gandhara style. Because what is meant by Gandhara? Because when we have a trade relationship with a Greek, then we exchange a Greek art. Then we immerse the Greek art in the Indian art. We emerge means we mix that art, and mostly this art is known as the Gandhara art of school. मतलब उसमें art मतलब sculpturing, drawing ऐसा सब कुछ सिखाते थे. So in that art, mostly they carve the image of the Gautam Buddha. Mostly they carve the image of the Gautam Buddha. Then same art we found in the Afghanistan. So that's why it is known as the Gandhara style. And there is a features. What is the feature of this Gandhara style? Because the whatever the facial features of these statues. See, this is the statues in the Gandhara school of art. Even they are very similar to the Greek people. Here you can see the picture. Okay, in this picture you can see that these statues are similar to the Greek people. Similar to the Greek people. And the around the first century, trade between India and Rome flourished, and the port of South India means there is a port in the south part of India. So because of that, if there is a port, because in previous time the air transport is not available, was not available. There is only one way, that if it is a road transport and the water transport. So in the south part of India, there was a port. Because of that, there is the trade relation in between India and Rome get flourished. And even some articles, the Rome articles we found, means the whatever the articles get found in a Rome country, same kind of articles in found in the excavation at Kolhapur. Same kind of excavation, the Rome articles found in the excavation at Kolhapur. So that the excavation of Arikmedu in Tamil Nadu, they also give light on the articles of the Rome. So that's why the places were important center of trade in between India and Rome, which the Kolhapur and the Tamil Nadu. If such kind of question has come, why Tamil Nadu is an important port, that Tamil Nadu is an important port or important center of trade in between India and Rome, then you are supposed to write the answer that while the excavation in Kolhapur as well as in Tamil Nadu, we found articles which is made in Rome, so that it gives us light, it focuses on light, that there is a trade relationship between Rome and India. Understood, students? If such kind of question has come, why Tamil Nadu is an important center of trade between India and Rome in ancient time, there is only one answer, because in excavation we found some article which is made in Rome. We found in that article, we found in Kolhapur and Tamil Nadu. So it shows that we have a great trade relationship between Rome and India. Okay, students, have you found the idea get clear, right? Yes or no in your chat box? So in the same way, there are such trade centers are also mentioned in a various literature are there, various ancient literatures are there. In that ancient literature, we found a various trade centers, which are the important trade centers in India, that so that we can connect it with the people. Then Alexandria. Alexandria is a name of a port. Alexandria is a name of a port which is in Egypt. Alexandria is an important port which is in Egypt, so that Arab merchant, they carried Indian goods. They carried Indian goods up to Alexander. Then then later on, from this port, we can send the countries in Europe. Then apart from Indian goods, Arab also conveyed philosophy, whatever the philosophy and science of Indian philosophy and Indian science, they can spread it to Europe. So that's why the concept of zero is the one of the major contribution, India's major contribution to the world. So that's why Arab peoples are responsible. Arab peoples are responsible to spread the concept of zero to Europe. Okay, students, so here we have learned about it, India and the countries of the West. Okay, and the rest lesson we will learn it in the next lecture.